Listen in the words of the late Marvin Gaye. Everybody, what's going on? What's going on around here? Yes, we just tapped into another truth session. Yes, where your thoughts really count. We want you to know that you really matter to us. We have been having an awesome time. Everybody who have dialed in, plugged in, giving us their undivided attention, where it's been uncut, uninterrupted. We appreciate you. And we have been having such a marvelous time here at the Truth Session with the family here locally, and those of you who are part of the Truth Session family who are abroad. Thank you for being so faithful. Thank you for being so kind and so supportive. We can't do this without you. We understand that no one, even no group, is an island to themselves. But it takes the masses in order to get this done properly, because we have to build the relationships, make the connections, get the flow. You're in an area that we're not physically. So you're touching people that we're not touching, but the information is going out and you're receiving it, and you're giving this information out to other people. You're hitting that share button. And so we're excited about that, because it's all about relationships. We've been talking about this for a long time, relationships. And as the one said in our previous our Wind Down Wednesday session, the sacred text said, in my Father's house there are many mansions. And I'm not going deep and getting religious on you at all. As a backdrop, he said, in my Father's house are many mansions. That house and mansion connection represents relationships. Many mansions represent many relationships. So it's those areas that we connect to, that we join ourselves to, become connected to. That's right. We connect ourselves. Not attached, we connect ourselves. And we build these relationships and these flows and these currents. Oh my goodness. And all of it ties right into what we're talking about, the quantum connection of things. So building relationships is directly tied to quantum mechanics, quantum mathematics, quantum geometry, quantum energy, quantum flow. Oh, you better ask somebody. It's all in connection, in relationship to what we're talking about. So thank you once again. As you know, I am the quantum shifter. That's right, the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker, baby, coming into live and living color with 2,400 watts of power. In this hour, listen, it's heating up in here already. Yeah, that's right, I got on this red. Listen, it feels about 785 degrees outside in the shade. Oh my goodness, sign of the time. Yeah, things are heating up. Information is heating up, man. Fire coming down the pipe to burn up everything that doesn't belong in its proximity, in its locality, in our thoughts. So if there's something there that doesn't belong there, oh, this fire is going to burn it up. Put it in a new dimension, a new place, called a place of inactivity, a place of no hurt. And that's what I'm talking about. Gonna be dealing with it once again. The quantum geometry of the brain. This is part 3. But it's part 2 of these small tributary dealing with what happens when the brain hears numbers. Oh my goodness. Something mathematically transpires in us. It does something to our brain. Something else happens. And we dealt with that on last week. Listen, if you did not sit in or get an opportunity to view or listen to the truth session last week, you need to do that. Because everything connects, and it's just going to build. Today it's going to build on what we talked about last week. So grateful and thankful that the one afforded this opportunity to be in your hearing, in your eye gates, in your thoughts, in your contemplations, in your love, in your positive energy. Oh, we never take it for granted nor lightly. But we take this opportunity to burn up everything in this pathway that doesn't belong there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this red is doing something. It's already in its place. It's preparing you to hear something maybe you never heard before. And if you have, maybe not in this manner. We said some things on last week that we're going to rehash on. We're going to build and clarify. How many know we need clarity? We need to see. As our very own Moshe was told, see. Yeah. Come on, somebody. We even talked about it. When his nephew Lot left him, the first thing the Almighty One said was, look up. See. Yeah, see. So I'm trying to get you to see something today. I'm trying to get you to see that, listen, you're powerful than you can ever imagine. Yeah. These two hemispheres, a pineal gland, more powerful than you ever thought that you've ever been told. We don't deal with spookism here. We don't deal with fearing what this can bring, what it understands, what it has known back in the angels of time, before time ever was. Yeah. As the sacred text said, I was with thee before the earth ever was. I was possessed. I was gathered in. I was constructed before there was ever a firmament. I was there. Captain, you can see that. You were here during ancient times. When the thing was not yet done, but yet it was done because we declared our end from the beginning. All you can do is see it. Open up and see it. Stop thinking of yourself as an unstoppable force, as an entity, as a quantity, as an energy that is a force to be reckoned with. Quantity. It's not precluded as the word quantities in the first part of quantum. Quantity representing amount. Oh, but quantum represents the smallest, minute amount. That which is hard to be detected. It's location. Come on, somebody. It's speed. Listen, you faster than you know. Yes, you're faster than you know. Your brain processes more than you know. The level of understanding that you have is so vast. It's so supernatural. It's infinite. It's eternal. To a place, listen, you're constantly moving on and going on and growing on to understand who you are. Oh. Come on, somebody. Listen, while you're already in that hearing mode, in that viewing mode, come on, hit that share button. Come on and share the feed right now. Let somebody know that it's going down here in the truth section. Yes, indeed. Come on. Share button. Put those emojis on the timeline. Oh, we're going to get started in a minute, but we're trying to get you prepared. We're allowing those to come in who diligently, who faithfully, with their own painstaking effort, looking to get in here. Somebody needs to know that they can be empowered to make a difference in their lives and others. See, we have been constructed to more than ourselves. You need to understand that. It's not about us. We've got to build ourselves so that we can reach those that we've been preordained to touch. To make those touches, those neurotransmitters move. We can get information from someone else to get them to see and others see. Oh my goodness. Come on, tell somebody. Yes, indeed. Oh, the master teacher sitting in the captain seat for the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Hello, somebody. Thanks be unto you. Yeah. Who always connect to us and calls us to triumph. over any form of negativity and evil. All I want to see on this timeline today, pound quantum entanglement, pound state of knowing, pound everything is everything, pound we know all things, pound consciousness, pound subconscious, pound coherence, pound intelligence, pound multiple intelligence. Oh, pound visual space, so we're going to talk about it today. Listen, while the energy is flowing, listen, why don't you put your business on the timeline right now? I want it to be involved in this flow. Come on, place your business on the timeline. I want all of them to be at the beginning. Hit that share button. All your business on the timeline. Those that you are connected to, listen, this is free advertising. You being put up on free game. It's going everywhere, reaching thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You may not see it. It may look like there's maybe 50, 60, 70, maybe 100 in the house. Oh, but we get the feed, we get the numbers. Thousands of people are watching. Because they know they can read this information. They know it's secret. They know it causes something to resonate in you. Oh, all you have to do is open up your mind. Step into that frequency. That frequent energy that we flow with. Called the truth session. Oh, yes indeed. And listen, while you're in truth session mode, truth session matter, don't you forget about Wind Down Wednesday. We also want to make note that this coming Wednesday, the one said he's going to give everybody opportunity to wind it down with their families. So there won't be a truth session a Wind Down Wednesday session this coming Wednesday. Oh. Also want to make note that the following Saturday we will have a truth session. But the next one will be coming out. Listen, I'm telling you now, this one's going to hold you till we come back together. You may see other things, listen, talking about the following week or the time that we may have coming off this coming Wednesday, but listen, we're always winding it down. So grateful for that platform that you want to establish for us. Wind Down Wednesday. I'm just going to talk about it. Because all it does is verify some things and ties into some things that we're talking about here in the truth session. You don't need to wind down in order to understand this. Then you might need to wind up. Hello, somebody. Oh my goodness. Let me check this timeline. But listen, before we go further, you want to say Shalom Aleichem. Assalamu Alaikum. Imhotep. Tabaragani. Amani Kaka. Amani Dana. Hola. Bonjour. Yes, indeed. True indeed. I know your speed. I am the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker, baby, draped in red. You heard what I said. Yeah. Yes, that's right. We're getting ready to enlighten you. We're getting ready to split your nose of cranium so that you can recognize and realize that at the very constitution of your makeup, at your core, at your neck being, man, listen, you're bad. That's right. You're bad. Pound bad. Now let me get up in here and see who's up in your name. Yeah, come on. Yes, indeed. The one that walks the prophet and preaches the bell, gratitude. Up here from the ATL, baby. Queen Octavia Swayze. Oh, that's right, the one. Therapy with a sip, you understand me. Sound bad. Therapy with a sip. Huh? for. Yes, indeed. Man, let's get at this. I'm not going to be before you long. But I plan to be before you strong. And you will be heard, as the Prince of Peace said. Talking about the quantum geometry of the brain. What happens when you hear numbers, when the brain hears numbers? There is a cognitive process that automatically enacts. It's activated. And it involves different areas of the brain that automatically kicks in. And they work together to interpret, to understand. And then to act numerically. Whether it's be calculating to solve problems, calculating depth perception, distance, parameters, area, volume, to analyze, to synthesize, to bring things together, then to be creative. That's what happens when the brain hears numbers. But I want to remind you that we've only been taught to fear numbers.
Here's your reminder.
You've been taught to fear numbers.
You've been taught to fear numbers. Here's your reminder.
Yeah.
You've been taught to fear numbers. Here's your reminder.
This is your reminder.
Your reminder.
From the very beginning, listen, you are already mathematically in tune with the universe. You already understand how things operate. You automatically, when you were brought forth, understood quantum principles. This is your reminder.
This is your reminder.
The problem is we allow programs to detach us from our heritage and inheritance. Programs that we download. Listen, the one put this out on the Truth Session page. Your brain works just like a computer. So make sure you're the only one programming it. My goodness, man, that was powerful. Your brain works just like a computer. So make sure you're the only one programming it. See, that brain already knows. We start downloading erroneous programs that get stuck in an infinite loop. Keep repeating the same thing, the same cycle. The same life cycle. The same chaos and confusion and mishaps in our lives. We downloaded that. We were born with a program to be successful. A program that all we had to do was insert. Not only that, our brain computer knows when it's time for an update. That's why we know certain things and we try to figure out, man, how did I know this? Where did this come from? We automatically get those downloads from the universe. And it upgrades our system. We're no longer dealing with the analog computer, the IBMs, the large mainframes. We're no longer dealing with that. We get upgrades, automatic updates. We're no longer dealing with the dot matrix printers. We're no longer dealing with that. We're dealing with foundations of that, but they're advanced and passed on to an appointed occasion where new information has been downloaded in us. And the beauty of it is we automatically get updates. Listen, you have to purposely miss it in order not to get your download. Because we're connected to everything, that means we automatically get downloads. We automatically connect to everything. We detach ourselves or allow others to catch up. Who's programming you? I remember the one said once before, who's accessing you? Who's accessing your memory brain? Who's accessing your brain, your pineal gland? Who's writing on you your epigenetic inheritance? Who's writing on you? Who's writing on that part of your DNA that have not been touched? Who are you allowing to write on you? Who's messing with your matrix? Who's messing with your maintaining your womb? Your mind, or the mouth of your mind? Who's blowing words around in your page? Protect your mind. Guard your heart. And the Greek is cardio. It's left in Hebrew, talking about your mind. Who's accessing your mind? Who's programming you? Who's touching you? Who's stimulating you? Who's dangling information before you? Who's stimulating you? Yeah, your mind. The geometric makeup of your mind. The quantum geometric makeup of your mind is powerful. Woo! Guard your mind, pound. Guard your mind. I see the one. Who is accessing you? Pound, who's accessing you? Pound download. Pound program yourself. Hey! Program yourself. Come on here, one. Program yourself. It's amazing how you can write your own program and then program yourself. Does that mean you allow others to write programs to help you? No. Because the one wrote some programs and gave them to us and we downloaded them. Let's still program our own mind. Listen, he can write all the programs he wants, but if I don't insert it, they won't work. So you program your own mind. He wrote the program, but you program it. Wow. Be careful what you hear, how you hear. Because it can determine how your brain works. The parietal lobe, prefrontal cortex, temporal lobe, annular gyrus, regions of the brain. Watch this. The parietal lobe and parietal sulcus, the IPS. It plays a crucial part in number processing. Wait a minute. Specific parts of the brain that has a specific function to process numerical figures. It's associated with our basic comprehension, which means the lower levels of our understanding, such as counting, understanding, quantities, number representation. That's just like listening. So that's knowledge and comprehension and application. Prefrontal cortex. This area is involved in higher order cognitive thinking skills and functions, including memory and decision making. See, you need to know the name of these areas and regions so you can speak to them. That's prefrontal cortex. Watch this when hearing numbers. The prefrontal cortex helps to keep track of the numerical processes, the sequences. For example, 1, 3, 5, 7. That's a sequence, that's a process. Every other number. So the prefrontal cortex keeps track of that. But it is a quantum makeup. Wow. Temporal lobe involves language processing. Math is a language. I taught a subject in math in algebra called the language of algebra. That is a language. When you understand the language of algebra, you'll understand how everything else connects and works with it because it's a language. That language teaches you actually how to learn what algebra is all about. It's a healing mechanism. Algebra in the Hebrew and Aramaic represents bringing things together, to connect the dots, to bring things together that which had been separated, which is healing. Rapha in the Hebrew. To bring it together, to cause healing. Bringing those thoughts together, bringing those different regions together, that you may be healed. It interprets written and spoken word. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. It interprets written and spoken word. Well, what is the spoken word area? As the one talked about. The prophetic, prophet, spoken word, a poet. Oh, see, you a poet and didn't know it.
Oh, bringing it all back together.
Yeah. Dealing with differential quantities, prices, dates. Prices and dates. I utilize it all the time. Practicing with those things. Recalling quantities. Recalling dates. Because everything fits. See, we're taught to always put things in temporary memory, not short-term memory. I try to download as much as possible because I can call on it. I can call on that because I know somewhere along the line I'm going to need it again. It all fits. It makes sense.
It all comes together.
Watch this. The parietal lobe. With crucial number processing. Number 2, again, prefrontal cortex. High order thinking skills and functions. Memory, decision making. Keeping track of numerical sequences. Number 3, the temporal lobe. Language processing. Including the interpretation of written and spoken word. And expressions. It also understands which numbers are used and which numbers should be used and where they should be used.
It all comes together.
Boy, that sounds like quantum connections.
Quantumly connecting.
Also differentiate between quantities, prices, dates, temporal lobe. Watch this fourth one. The angular area. Sounds like angle. See, mathematics is all a part of the brain. Angular gyrus. The region that's linked to complex numbers. Now, I have to say this. Complex numbers. Complex numbers are those numbers that has an imaginary component to it. For example, we cannot take the square root of a negative number. It's going to come up with an error. But you can separate that number, for example, -5. You can't take the square root of it. If you put that in the calculator, it'll give you an error message. However, you can separate the two. You can write it as the square root of 5 times the square root of -1. Well, I guess I better show you that. Hold tight.
Time to use your whole brain. Every inch, every pound of your brain. Hey, let's explore.
I left this diagram up on purpose, dealing with that part of us that connects no matter how high or how low, we're still on that same plane of understanding.
Let's explore.
Can't give
Let's
you
explore.
an imaginary thought without showing you the imaginary sequence. This is how everything in the angular realm connects.
Here's how
there is no quantity here, it's automatically to the square root of a negative 5. Watch this. This is not valid. If you put it in a calculator, you cannot calculate it because the square root of a number represents a number multiplied by itself to get a quantity. Here's my sidebar. For example, the square root of 25 is 5. Why? 5 times 5 is 25. So that's what this represents. This represents a number squared, or number times itself, not 5 times 2, but 5 times 5. That's what that exponent is. That's 5 times itself twice. So the square root of 25 is 5. Now, that's legitimate. But I can't do this or this. Watch this. The square root of 25, negative 25, I can't do it. Because there's no number that you can multiply by itself that's negative to get this. Because this is not valid. It can't be negative 5. Because negative 5 times negative 5 is actually 25. Because the negative times the negative is a positive. So you can't take the square root of a negative number because, again, it represents a number multiplied by itself to get what's in here. This works, but this doesn't work. So what does that mean? We have two components. We have to separate this and make this the square root of 5 times the square root of negative 1. So these two multiplied together, 5 times negative 1 will give you negative 5. However, the square root in imaginary numbers, which is what we're talking about, the square root of negative 1 is the letter I. So the answer to this is I times the square root of 5. So we're representing it as an imaginary component and a real component. So we're connecting what's imaginary to what's real. Now, it all connects. Because the imaginary portion of us represents the ability to be creative, to imagine, to think outside of the box. And I'm going to go there here in just a second. To be able to visualize a thing, to see a thing. So even when it looks impossible, I'm showing you something. Even when it looks impossible in your life, there's a real component and there's an imaginary component. An imaginary component could be that thing that you may think that's there that's hindering it and placing a roadblock in your life, but you have the ability to see it, as the Prince of Peace was singing earlier. You have the ability to see it, so it's no longer an imaginary something. It's just being represented what you already understand. Okay, I understand I've got to do A, B, and C. I'm trying to get to my end, but it seems impossible or imaginary. However, because of how our brain works, it's already calculated. What we do is abort it sometimes because it seems impossible. You're already wired to success. You're already wired to prosperity. You're already wired to intelligence. You're already wired to be successful, to be triumphant. It just seems impossible. But it's imaginary. Oh my goodness. So when the imaginary piece gets in your wholeness, do what I just did, separate them.
It just seems impossible.
Separate them. Now, the word separate or separate is the word discern. To separate thoroughly or to divide completely. It means to discern. So discern what you need to separate. Who you need to separate from.
You can
oh
do
my
it.
Goodness. You can do it.
Oh, yes, you can.
Just square yourself up. That's what it means to square yourself up. Separate from this. Separate from the junk. You all know that you got some people and some things you got to separate from that's hindering you. The beauty of it is you know what it is. Sometimes it's just hard to separate from it. I see you the one who said the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Come on here. Pound imaginary. What's going on, Kiss the Inspirations Queen? We see you traveling, I know you get it. Yeah. Prefrontal cortex. Guard your gates. I see you. Guard your ear gates. The one. Guard your mind. Oh my goodness. Woo! You gotta do it. Notice this number has a guard over it called a radical symbol. It's a radical symbol. What is it doing? Guarding your mind. Well, the Prince of Peace was just singing of you gotta guard it. So what is it doing? It's housing over the numbers. The numbers that automatically cause our quantum energy and quantum thoughts to kick in when we hear it. But this is guarding it. Let me get back to all of that came out of the definition. The complex numbers. That's what that region does when it hears numbers. It divides real numbers from complex numbers. Sometimes we represent real numbers as, say for instance, 3 plus 4i. Notice how they combine it and says 7i. This is the imaginary component. That's the real component. Sometimes we just have to represent it. We just got to represent it. Just like we can't combine variables and numbers. We just represent it. Oh, come on and hit them. Come on and hit them. Queens of Monia McCoy, I see you. Gratitude, gratitude. I see you, Queen. I tell you, oddly enough, that made some sense. Come on and hit it real quick and watch it. Identification break. It's time, as they're singing to you, to guard your mind. So much misinformation and disinformation is out there, as the one taught us. You better guard your mind in this season. So much negativity, so much nonsense is hanging out there in the balance, waiting to drop something on you to rewrite your program, rewrite your matrix, your matrix. And there is a branch of math called linear algebra that deal with matrix. Matrix operations, that's right. Multiplying matrices, subtracting matrices. It's there. Augmenting matrices. Augment only means to change. And we know we use that term loosely. We know we want to metamorphose to make, or morphosis, a metamorphosis. And as the one always say to us, things only change and remain to be the same. But you can augment your matrix, yet never detach from it. This is a powerful, powerful tool. And as the one placed on the timeline, listen, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Oh, guard your mind and body. Queen Octavia. Yes, yes. Queen McCoy, I see you. Guard your mind. Watch this. That last one we were dealing with complex numbers, which ties into imaginary numbers. And I told you, I said something that tied into last week, which is having the ability to visualize, having the ability to see, having the ability to understand and know. No matter what type of numbers you hear, guess what? Your level of intelligence kicks in. No matter what it is. No matter what type of number you're dealing with, when you hear numbers, your brain starts processing automatically. Once again, 30, 60, 90. Your mind starts going back to when we start dealing with triangle trigonometry, triangles, trigonometry, special triangle, 45, 45, 90. All three angles add up to 180 degrees. 30, 60, 90. All three angles add up to 180 degrees. 90 represents a right triangle, having the ability to stand up upright, perpendicular to the flat surface at a 90-degree angle. Brain starts processing. 360 dealing with circles. Starts calculating. The diagram I showed you, the wave symbol. It's just a circle that was opened up and rotated in one part. So as it goes up, guess what it does? Hits 1. Because it's a unit circle. So it's either 1 or -1. When it goes up at 1, that's 90 degrees. When it gets back down to 0, 180. When it drops below, it go to -1, 3 pi over 2 or 270 degrees. Then it gets back up to 0, 360 degrees. It's the same plane. Everything is on a 360-degree terminal. You've got to be able to see it or visualize it. Watch this. I threw something out there last week. Multiple intelligence. Let's talk about it. A theory put forth by Garner. Garner's theory of multiple intelligence. This was written by Kendra Cherry, Master's Education. March 11, 2023, and also Dr. David Sussman. Watch this. The concept of multiple intelligence is a theory proposed by Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner. And I want you to know they deal with this in education. In the education world, and everything is full of education. I mean, you can't get away from it. When you hear the word intelligence, the concept of IQ testing may immediately come to mind. Intelligence is often defined as our intellectual potential. There's that potential again. Potential, probability, possibility. Something, oh, wait a minute, something we were born with. I've been saying it all along. I've been saying it all day. It's there. Something we've been born with. Something that can be measured. Something that can be measured. And a capacity that is difficult to change. So we're born with a level of intelligence that continues to develop, but difficult to change. You can't remove my intellectual capacity. You cannot remove my intellectual capacity, my intellectual capital. That's difficult to change that. Watch this. Multiple intelligence. In recent years, other views of intelligence have emerged through Gardner's suggestion that multiple intelligence, different types of intelligence may exist. Watch what the 8 are. 8 intelligence, according to Gardner, are visual spatial. I mentioned that last week. We'll get to that. Visual spatial. Linguistic verbal. Logical mathematical. Hello, somebody. Body kinesthetic. Musical. Interpersonal and intrapersonal. And naturalistic. Multiple intelligence. And if you go back to last week, I threw that term out there, multiple intelligence, and also visual spatial. Let's talk about this. Visual spatial. Watch this. And let me grab this real quickly and place these different intelligence aspects of our brain out there on the timeline, just to have that piece out there. Give me a quick second here. We're gonna move on. Oh my goodness. Come on here. powerful question put out there by our very own Queen Octavia. Said, what about artificial intelligence? Where would that fall? Artificial intelligence is a result of the multiple intelligence that we carry. It was brought about as opposed to this multiple intelligence housing unit. So everything you see regarding computers is nothing more than a replication of what we have stored right up here. How our pineal gland processes things, goes out and gathers information. Quantum entanglement, how we easily go out and use our quantum entanglement abilities to affect change somewhere else, to gather intel somewhere. It's an intelligence mechanism. It's an intel that goes out, a reconnaissance team, gather information, brings it back, gets it done, and brings it back to us and says it's already done. That's what artificial intelligence does. It scopes out many areas of information. Information is floating out there on the World Wide Web. Artificial intelligence automatically goes out and gets it, gathers it in, places it in a platform where you need it, based on what questions you have. The connection. And the one talked about this years ago, that the computers were going to start communicating with one another. He said that, man, over 20 years ago. And this is not new. We're not confused or perplexed or in a quandary. He said that well over 20 years ago that they were going to start communicating with one another, making decisions and doing things that we have not per se authorized. But because we had the ability, as we advanced and passed on, to gather information and knew how to program computers, boy, they became just as real as a human brain, because it's taking on the human brain quantities and characteristics. Multiple intelligence having the ability to go out and gather in, calculate. We do that naturally. Oh. What's going on? Ashe, Julian Milton in the house. What's going on? What's going? Much love unto you. Yes, much love, strength, happiness, balance, respect, peace, and all that is. Ashe. Gratitude, Queen Octavia. I see you. I knew you would make it make sense. I appreciate you. Appreciate the love more than you know. More than you know. That's our very own. Come on. Give her a hand, a black hand. Let's give her a hand. Powerful question. Those are the questions that people want to ask in a classroom but don't. And then they take the intelligent ones like you to ask the question, and then it opens up a whole new realm. Because that's exactly what you just did. Watch this. Visual spatial. Ooh, boy, this is good to me. Oh, you right there. You can go ahead and sing that. I heard you. That's what that is. Straight intellect, power. Let me let you hear that for just a second. I'm going to hit you with multiple intelligence and visual spatial. Woo, and then we're going to get out of here. Listen, if you have not had an opportunity to donate to the Truth Session, please do so. Please do so. The methods of donation is on the timeline. Listen, somebody else put it out there. Yes, come on, baby bird. Yes. Visual spatial, watch this. People who are strong in visual spatial intelligence are good at visualizing. And we talked about that last week. Strong at visualizing, seeing things, how things come together. Watch this. These individuals are more often good with directions as well as maps, charts, videos, and pictures. Strengths. Watch what their strengths are. Having the ability to visualize and to understand space. The ability to judge space or depth perception. What is depth perception? You can be maybe a block and a half back or 2 blocks back, and you can see a light pole with something hanging. To those who don't have depth perception, that hanging structure may appear to be 3 blocks back or 4 blocks back. Or as the mirror says, these objects in this mirror are closer than they appear. Depth perception gives you the ability to see that and to know I'm approaching a certain thing. I can see it looming. I'm coming up on it and I see it looming. Oh. All right. Get this situated here for just a second. Those things which are looming. Now watch this. Characteristics. People with visual spatial intelligence. They read and write for enjoyment. Are good at putting together puzzles, can interpret pictures and graphs, and charts well, enjoy drawing, painting, the visual arts, and can recognize patterns easily. Recognizing patterns. Sequencing, as I was talking about earlier, how things sequence and come together, how we synthesize things, how we bring it together, how we draw pictures, how we get you to see. Yes. How we put together a group of information and cause you to get a drawing, a picture. That's what we do. The master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shapeshifter, the code breaker, the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. What do? We take separate quantities, bring them together, and cause you to get a picture, to get a drawing. Even if it's abstract, we cause you to see it. Can interpret graphs, recognize patterns, enjoy drawing, painting. Listen, I used to draw and paint every day. When Mama said the weather's bad, it's too wet outside, you can't go outside, I used to lay on the floor and draw, paint. That's right, visual spatial. Some of the careers may be an architect, an engineer, an artist. Not limited to that, but those are the vast majority of our visual spatial. They have the ability to understand, to create diagrams, 3D diagrams, elevation. Some diagrams you can cut sections or draw a section and show what's inside of the structure, or where the pipes are running, where the HVAC work, where it's running because we did a section or a cross section or an elevation. Watch this. That's visual spatial. Last one I want to deal with. Logical, mathematical intelligence. Those are 2 of the multiple intelligence ideas and thoughts and energy that we possess. That's 2 of them. Powerful, yes indeed. People who are strong in logical, mathematical intelligence are good at reasoning, recognizing patterns as well. Now, some of you may say, I'm not good at math, but you're good at reasoning. Guess what? You are good at math. That's another branch of math, reasoning. Understanding, reasoning. I know I have to solve for this unknown. So I've got all these steps that I must go through in order to get to my end. Some of you reason very well, you just don't think you do. Recognizing patterns and logically analyzing problems. Some of you have problems that you deal with and you sit down, man, you analyze those problems. Before you know it, you come up with a solution. or you put yourself in a position where you can receive information. Like those of you initially who might not have tapped into the truth session, and someone put you up on game and say you need to tap into this truth session. Logically analyzing problems. That's what you did. These individuals tend to conceptually or think conceptually about numbers, relationships, and patterns. There it is again. Relationships, building relationships. That's dealing with math. Building relationships. There's a branch of geometry dealing with angle relationships. Two angles coming together, causing 180 degrees. That's supplementary angles. Yeah. That's deep. Relationships. Strong with solving problems. Excellent skills. Thinking, having the ability to be abstract. Having the ability to experiment and solve problems. See, some of us intuitively know, and we do experiments, and it ends up just the way we analyze it, just the way we laid it out. Logical mathematics, relationships, can solve complex computations. Oh my goodness. Just to name a few. The quantum geometry of the brain. What happens when you hear numbers? Automatically start calculating, analyzing, synthesizing, building, trusting. Powerful entity. More than you know, you're powerful. All we're telling you to do is guard it. Because you're powerful. You are powerful. You're an intellect. You're a witness. You're genius. Oh my goodness. Never let anybody tell you that you're not a genius. We all have that gene, or that genius gene. We all have it in us. Some of us turn it on because we recognize that we have it. Some of us never turn it on because we don't realize we have it. That's because we don't realize that we have it. We don't know we can operate at that level of intelligence. I'm telling you, listen, when I met the one, I already knew he was an intelligent individual. The sound that he was making resonated with me. It touched the very core of who I was at the time and who I am now. I knew he was an intellect. Because it was there. I wasn't afraid of my intellect. And listen, I didn't let anybody tell me that I wasn't powerful. I didn't let anybody tell me that I wasn't an intelligent being. Some people will try to make you believe you're dumb in a box of rocks and a pair of monkeys. They want you to believe that because they refuse to apply themselves. They refuse to take their scholarship further, as the one always tells us. He always says that. But you are powerful, powerful, powerful. Somebody put powerful on the timeline. Come on, flood it with powerful. Before we get out of here, I want to place that in your ideas. Powerful. Oh, let me get mine in. Thank you, Father, for putting that on the timeline. Yes. Woo! Thank you, Queen. For your support, your donation. Thank you. Yes. Powerful. Yes, indeed. Come on. Oh, yeah. Queen, I tell you, I'm a custom blend. Huh? I have some of both of them. You understand me? Yes. See, people have told us we only have one or maybe two. Maybe we just didn't turn on the other ones. Maybe we just didn't turn on the other multiple intelligence that's on the inside of us. And I want you to know, listen, we believe in you. We trust in what you have. Listen, if you're here and you're constantly coming back, you're supposed to be here. We trust in what you have. The intelligent side of you said, I need to be here. I need to hear this. I need to do what I've been instructed to do. The one gave me some instructions to do certain things so I can get certain other things done. I trust it because my multiple intelligence is telling me, go ahead and do that. It's safe. And we want you to know that you're safe here at the Truth Session because your powerful thoughts really count. They really matter. And listen, I've come to that space and place in time because it's so powerful. Oh my goodness. Come on, y'all. We'll get out of here in a minute. Come on. Come on, tell them. That's who you are. That's what you are. Once again, listen, we've come to that space and place in time where we have to say, hold what you got. Muse over it. Cogitate upon it. Ponder over it. Give yourself wholly to it. But by all means, govern yourself accordingly. And until next session, hold what you got. Until next session, hold what you got. Let me say that again. Hold what you got. Hold what you got. Let me put that on the timeline. See? Yeah. Hold what you got. Please let me remind you one more time. This coming Wednesday, there will not be our Wind Down Wednesday session as a group. But listen, feel free to wind down. Hello, somebody. Following Truth Session next Saturday, we will not have our Truth Session, but we'll be coming back at you. Listen, we know some of you want to hang tight, hang strong, hang out with your family members. So you may be preparing during the week. Of course, we know that the 4th of July is Thursday, so you may be going out of town or have parents or friends or family coming in town. So I want to give you that opportunity to wind down. That's right, it's wind down and relax. But listen, govern yourselves accordingly. And remember, you are powerful. Shalom Aleichem.